What's up, YouTube? It's the Action Figure Grader coming back to you with more recent sales prices for the Power of the Force 2 line. There hasn't been a lot of good data out there, but there was enough that I kind of cobbled together a pretty decent video of items that have sold here fairly recently. Everything, as you can see from the thumbnail here, everything from prototypes to graded to mainly autographed items. And as I've talked about in past videos for this line of toys, Power of the Force 2 makes great carded figures to take to conventions to get autographed, or you can pick them up pretty cheap on eBay, already signed, and there's lots of really nice ones. So let's go ahead and dig right in. The first one, we're going to start off with prototypes, and this was an interesting one. This was a Power of the Force 2 European one-sided proof card, and as you can see, it had a little bit of damage to the item. Quite a bit of damage, actually. The bottom left corner was the main culprit here. And that's pretty common with these proof cards. These were kind of pre-production as the engineering team was putting together the final art for the packaging. And they were usually printed on these square cards before they were cut. And this one had probably been passed around by the different engineers, and as a result, it did get some wear to it. But this one is from the Tri-Logo European release for C3PO. As you can see in the upper left-hand corner, it's got all the different languages there, as well as the multi-language data card. But the bottom of the card did have quite a bit of wear to it. This one was listed for $100, and the best offer that was accepted was $95 plus $7 shipping. Usually, if they're in really good shape, you can expect to pay $200 to $250, unless it's a rare character or if it includes both the front and the back as a complete proof card. Blank proof cards tend to command even more money. Those go for a lot of money. So anyway, $95 took that one home. This was a really cool one. This is a first shot Gamorrean Guard prototype. This was an unpainted example with different colors for the limbs and for the torso and the head. So four different colors for this Gamorrean Guard. If not five, actually. Five, because there's a blue piece down there at the very bottom. But really early prototype. I would bet that this one does not have date stamps on this one. And this one was listed for $298 US or 275 euros, and that's about the going rate for the early pre-production prototypes for the Power of the Force 2 line. Usually on Facebook, these will sell in the Power of the Force 2 groups for anywhere from $250 to $400, or a lot more if it's very popular characters like Luke Skywalker. Boba Fett especially can go for big money. Princess Leia's, I've seen those go for over $1,000. But for some of the more common characters, less desirable characters like this Gamorrean Guard, about $300 seems to be the going rate, and that's about what I've paid for all of mine. I've got maybe 3 or 4 different early first shot prototypes for the Power of the Force 2 line, and if they don't have date stamps, those go for more. If they have date stamps on the bottom of the feet, those are considered later prototypes and test shots, things like that. So anyway, that was a really cool one though, and I didn't see it. I just happened to find this one in my searches of sold listings, but that's a very desirable one with all the different plastic colors. Next up, this was a later stage engineering prototype of Forlom, and this seller had or still does have a number of different examples. This one was later stage and was pretty close to complete. As it's noted in here, the prototype reflects a late stage prototype, sonically welded, and it does have the date stamp. Final engineering prototype is how it's labeled, FEP. So this is when they're getting really close to having the final production colors, the final paint applications. It might just have very slight differences versus the final retail figure. And this one sold for $180. And again, for FEPs, you're going to be paying quite a bit less for that. This seller has a number of kind of documents, from the original Kenner employee that he bought them from to kind of support the fact that this is a final engineering prototype. But just another interesting, item that kind of shows a different stage in the prototype production process. Let's dig into some graded items. This is the Gig Italian card for Darth Vader, and this has the short lightsaber inside the longer tray. So short saber, long tray, as it's labeled by AFA. This is an AFA 85 example, 85, 85, 90. And again, this is the Italian card with the Italian language on this one. This is actually one I've got in my collection, AFA 90. And this one was, again, an archival case graded AFA 85. And that one sold for 120 pounds or about 148 US dollars. Pretty good buy there, I think. Any of the short saber long trays for the various Power of the Force 2 figures, Darth Vader, Luke Skywalker Farm Boy, Luke Dagobah. There's a Luke X-Wing example that's just like this. There's very rare Obi-Wan Kenobis with short saber long trays. There's not many of those out there, but I have seen examples of those in the various Power of the Force 2 Facebook groups. Really good information out there in the Facebook groups for the Power of the Force 2 line. That there's a number of posts that goes through some of the different rare variations that are out there for the different production figures. But this one's not a very tough one to find, and usually they go for about 150 bucks or so. But really nice example. I love the Gig Italian cards. That logo looks really cool on there. But really nice example of the Italian short saber long tray Darth Vader. Again, that sold for about 150 bucks. Let's dig into some autographed items. And this one is a Billy D. Williams signed Lando. Look how ridiculous that Lando is. He's super muscular on the red card. Again, signed by Billy D. And that one was listed for 100 bucks. The best offer that was accepted was 86 bucks. And again, I mean, this is a good example of one you can pick up on eBay for probably less than it would cost you to take this to a convention to get Billy D. Williams to sign that. I can only imagine he's going to charge you more than 86 bucks to sign this. And to get it already signed for 86 bucks plus $11.75 shipping, that's a pretty good buy. And it also included a certificate of authenticity. Next up is a Dave Prowse signed red card Darth Vader. Again, this is the short saber long tray too, so it's got kind of two things going for it. The short saber long tray on the US red card, plus it's signed by Dave Prowse. So it's kind of a double rarity, so to speak. That one sold for 120 bucks plus $10 shipping. That's a pretty good value there. Next up, this is a really cool one. This is a 2-pack of the Jawas signed by two actors that played Jawas in the movies, Tiffany and Melissa Kurtz. And it also includes a couple of quotes, Utini, as it's labeled there, and then Ashkabada. I have no idea what that means, but apparently those are the lines that those two specific actors said in the movie, and pretty cool looking 2-pack there. So that one was listed for $140. The best offer that was accepted on that one was $120. Next up is a Ken Colley signed Admiral Piet, and that one is the freeze frame action slide US card back, and looked to be in pretty good shape there. That one sold for 75 bucks plus $5 shipping, so pretty good buy on that one. Next up is a Richard Bonehill signed Hoth Stormtrooper. So you do see these quite a bit, whether they're regular Stormtroopers or the Hoth Snowtroopers. There were so many different actors or stuntmen that played different Stormtroopers, and those are often signed on the Power of the Force 2 card. This is a green card with the foil label, and again, that one was signed by Richard Bonehill. That one was listed for $125. The best offer that was accepted on this one was $110. There's a close-up of the autograph there. Pretty cool item. Next up, this is a really nice looking Power of the Force Purchase of the Droids multi-pack. So this displays really nicely. It's got Uncle Owen, who was Phil Brown. He signed this one. It included the Beckett's Certificate of Authenticity. And, you can see there that it's got the transaction droid, C-3PO, as well as the Luke Farm Boy, along with the backdrop of the Jawa Sandcrawler behind them on like a little cardboard piece. So pretty nice looking multi-pack signed by Phil Brown. That one sold for $100 even on one bid, plus $12 shipping. Next up is a Peter Mayhew signed Chewbacca, Power of the Force red card. And that one was listed for $105. The best offer that was accepted was $85. Really great shape. And, Peter Mayhew, like Dave Prowse, was very, very prolific at signing at different conventions before he passed away. But pretty good looking example there for $85 free shipping. That's a good buy. Next up is a Hoth Rebel Soldier signed by Harrison Ellenshaw. Again, another kind of secondary actor, but This is the Green Card Collection 2 with the foil label. And again, there's a close-up of the autograph there. So pretty nice looking example. That one sold for $70 plus $11.75 shipping. So, you know, for those of you that don't go to a lot of conventions like me, I don't usually go to a lot of conventions. This is another good way to pick them up. And oftentimes you'll find these Beckett stickers on the proof of purchase on the back to show that it has been authenticated already. And this is the kind of thing that you could send into Collector Archive Services for the Signature Series yellow label, and they will authenticate the or grade the actual item. And when it's already been authenticated by Beckett or James Spence Authentication or the PSA DNA service, you don't have to pay the extra fee to get the autograph verified. That's already been done, and CAS will honor that original authentication sticker. So pretty cool looking item there. Next up is Kenny Baker, R2D2. He was another prolific signer and can be readily found on these Power of the Force 2 cards. This one sold for $76 on 20 bids plus free shipping. That's a pretty good buy there. This one surprised me at the upper end of the scale. Anthony Daniels, he signs a lot of these Power of the Force 2 cards. This one sold for $360. It was already authenticated by Beckett's, but that seems like a lot of money. My gut says that if you wait for an auction on something like this, you can probably get it for a lot less than the $360 that this one went for, but it was in excellent condition. Pretty great signature there on the red card. Looked to be in near mint plus condition, maybe a couple little minor edge wear at the bottom of the card. But that one did sell for $360 plus $10.55 shipping. That, again, I think if you're patient for a lot of these kind of autographed Power of the Force 2 items, you can find them for a lot cheaper than a buy it now situation like this one. And then I did find some loose graded Power of the Force 2 items. That's not something you see very often, but I did find some UKG and AFA graded loose figures, which you don't see. This one was a UKG 90% Power of the Force 2 C-3PO from 1995. This one was a 90% that was down in Australia, and it was listed for 150 Australian dollars. It did sell for $106. So, you know, again, you can buy this for like $5, mint on card, ungraded, but, you know, I guess somebody just wanted to have a loose graded figure as part of their collection, but pretty rare to see those loose graded. Here was a Bosk graded UKG 90% with the brand new K-style. That one sold for 150 Australian dollars, the same price, or 106 US dollars. And then finally, this one was an uncirculated 90 AFA Luke Jedi Knight. And this had the older K-style. AFA does not loose grade Power of the Force 2 figures anymore, unless it's a prototype. I think they will grade those. They do have to be 100% complete with AFA for them to grade a first shot prototype, and you do have to have some sort of documentation, or it needs to obviously be a first shot prototype. But CAS and UKG, they will grade incomplete Power of the Force 2 prototypes, but AFA will not unless it's 100% complete, to my knowledge. I could be incorrect on that. I think I might have seen a few examples that are qualified graded that are not complete. But going through the process with AFA with first shot prototypes is a lot more difficult than with CAS and UKG, so just keep that in mind. But anyway, this was just a standard, retail release version, and it was an uncirculated 90. Here's the grading label on that one: black vest protruding. I don't know what that means, but it's got a China COO. That one was listed for $65 plus $2 shipping, and the best offer that was accepted on that one was $50. But anyway, not a lot of good data out there, but I do know that a number of you have reached out about Power of the Force 2 items. You just would like to see a little bit more data out there. So if I can find enough data out there on recent sales on eBay, I will certainly include them in a video for you. And I thought I had just enough to put together between prototypes, graded figures, and autographs that I thought you would enjoy taking a look at some of these recent sales prices. So anyway, that's all I really had for this video. Thanks as always for watching, and I'll be back soon.